Hey guys, Fatiguu here, and today I bring you a short video but some raid footage of the Twilight Ascendant Council, the third boss in the Bastion of Twilight, and this is the normal mode 10-man version of this encounter. And so basically I'm just going to give you guys the basic overview of this encounter. This was the first time my guild has downed this. This was a pretty much 2-night project, but on the second night we 2-shot him, which was pretty awesome. We were all really excited about that. We were like, let's do this, everyone get ready. And the second time down, so that was awesome. Alright, so 3 phases of this fight. There's 4 members of the council, and then in the last phase, they all combine into this big, like, Captain Universe type guy. This guy gets huge and it's lots of Zerg DPS. Alright, so we're going to get to the explanation before phase 1 ends here. So basically, phase 1, you're going to fight the first 2 members of the council. I believe their names are Fatiguu and Ignatius. So if I get one of these names wrong, please excuse me, because they are very strange names. Alright, so basically, you're going to tank them apart, like you see us doing over here, and pretty much we put our ranged on Fatiguu and our melee on Ignatius, but every now and again, Ignatius is going to do a heroic leap just like that on a random, I guess, ranged person. It seemed to happen to me a lot for some reason, so I guess it was a mechanical error that I was doing there or something. So, and Arion, as you saw, I just got the Heart of Ice debuff, will be throwing that debuff around, just have your Dispellers get it off, and right here, this is the important part of this phase. Ignatius will go up, put this big bubble around him, and pretty much fire AoE damage throughout the raid. You're going to want to focus all your DPS on Ignatius during that phase, and pretty much get that bubble off him, because not only does it stop DPS on him, but it does an AoE fire damage around the raid, which is not good at all. Want to get that done quick. Fatiguu, I called him Arion, I think, by accident earlier, so I really excuse me for that one. He is going to throw these balls around the raid, and what happens when these balls hit you is, as you just saw, you get a buff called Waterlogged. What happens with Waterlogged is you want to run into the fire, which I'm going to be like, run into the fire, but Fatiguu, that's sacrilegious. Yes, it is, but it gets a debuff off you. Don't stand in it at any other time unless you have the debuff. So now, in phase 2, the next 2 council members will come out, and you'll be fighting Arion and Terrestra, who we will nickname Mr. T for the sake of this commentary, because Mr. T is so much more of a badass name than Terrestra. Again, excuse me for mixing up the names in phase 1 if I did with Arion in there. So Arion, as the name explains, pretty much does this damage, lightning-based air damage, and Mr. T will be dealing ground-based damage, pretty much earth, throwing these spikes on the ground around him, so gotta watch out for that. And the most important part here, which is going to be a little bit hard to grasp first, but I'm gonna do the best I can to explain this out for you. You will see these tornadoes and these pretty much gravity-sucking things. Those are gravity zones, and those are, I guess, tornadoes. What you're going to do is one of these 2 is going to be casting their special ability. Obviously, when Arion casts her lightning ability, you're going to want to be on the ground, because, of course, air plus lightning equals very bad for your health, very bad for your body, very bad for you in general. So don't be in the air when Arion is casting. When Mr. T is casting his Quake, you will want to get into the tornado and get into the air. And simply to switch to the air or the ground, you simply go into the gravity zone to get onto the ground, and the tornado to get into the air. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. That was a weird I spoke that. Very weird. You have to continue to avoid these throughout the encounter, or the phase of the encounter, I guess you would call it, because if you get like sucked on the ground as the Quake is starting to cast because you weren't careful about going to your gravity zone, you'll be screwed. You'll die. You'll instantly die if you do not do this correctly. This is the most mechanical part of the fight, and you really got to be on your toes for this. As you see us switching, you don't need to switch straight away. Like if you have deadly boss mods, it'll give you a warning, get this buff now or you will die pretty much. But we wanted to do it straight away to make sure everyone was safe, so something did happen, someone wouldn't have to run all the way across the room to get their buff, which would be very bad. So going back to the Romeo and Juliet aspect, as it's about to end now, this fight is Romeo and Juliet based. I'm not sure if I had mentioned the Romeo and Juliet aspect already, but you will need to get each of these down, their partners, down to 25% at the same time, because this will base how much health the last phase has, and that last phase is the burn phase, and you have to Zerg as hard as you can in that phase. Now, Romeo and Juliet style, you have to get them all down to 25% health as best you can. I don't care how you do it. You can, like, sub DPS on the boss. You have to find a way to make sure you do it. As you see, we're entering the last phase now. We got a little off that last phase, but it's okay because it was close enough for us to down it. So just Romeo and Juliet style to 25% each phase. And of course they combine to form the big Captain Universe guy, and you have to DPS him down very fast. So this big guy, the Elementium Monstrosity, will throw those blue pools on the ground, run out of them, will do AoE lightning throughout the entire raid, increasing in damage the more he is out. He will spawn fireballs everywhere. Once that lands on you, get out. They are constant. They will show up everywhere. And you're going to want to move out as fast as possible, or you will die. Excuse me. What he will also do is he will pull one raid member up in his bubble. He will pull them up and then drop them. You are going to want to put your healers on him, bubble him, blessing of protection him, heal him as he falls. I don't care if you do that. Fall damage is going to hurt. And your healers are going to be intensified enough during this phase that you're going to want to make sure that they're not going to take that much damage during that fall. Alright, so that is pretty much the encounter. Just zerg him down, pop all your DPS cooldowns. This is very DPS and very healing intensive. This is the only gear check part of the fight aside from, I mean, I guess your tank's getting like 2-shotted and dying, right? So this is sort of SMK style. 4 people die right at the end there, but it's still obvious that we're going to get down. So overall, it was a good night. We got some attempts on Cho'Galan, got to see the fight, and it was pretty good. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy these. I know they're not really informative guides, but I think they help a little bit. So until next time, guys, see you later.
Good work, gentle people.
Good shit, guys. Oh my god, fantastic.
And that's how
Good
you
job.
fucking do it.
Cho'Galan, let's fucking go. What drop?
Yeah, we're going to Cho'Galan.
Oh, those are good hands.